Hi. It is I, Jim, from the Ascertainers. I am here with Mark,
Hello, everyone.
also of the Ascertainers. Mark is wearing a smart red chiffon. What would you call that material?
I have no idea.
It looks really impressive. I'll tell you that right now.
I was going to wear a short sleeve shirt the last time I probably could get away with it before it starts snowing or turns cold.
You're assuming that you're getting away with it. So I admire that about you.
Wow.
I like your aloofness or your obtuseness that it's freezing out. Actually, it's going to be warm, unseasonably warm for the next few days. So
it is.
It's probably time to shoot your polar bear, to put it out of his misery, because this global warming won't let go.
You're right.
It's a fact. This is your nationwide global warming leader. No, we stay away from topics that are...
That's what Man Bear Pig says. Yeah, correct.
Fucking Man Bear Pig. Classic. Big South Park fans on the Ascertainers here. This is the Ascertainers, by the way. I am Jim. That is Mark. We are on episode... we're in the 30s. Swear jar.
For our reference, we don't know which...
Yeah,
that makes sense.
We shouldn't even do that. Yeah, because what we do is we record... Like, we typically record every Friday, but sometimes we'll record 2 episodes. Sometimes we'll scrap an episode because they're even worse than the ones you hear, if you can even imagine that. I mean, that is a little... You want to spend a minute on that? You get your brain around that. But some, we know that they're bad. So, but, yeah, we literally just spent the last 15 minutes doing, like, an inventory of what do we have, what's coming out, what... and we're trying to like put some on the shelf for when Mark goes in for his, emergency knee surgery replacement, because he just wore him down to the nub. But anyway, well, he's got a newspaper. What?
I do, since you brought that up.
What you got here?
I brought a newspaper article about knee replacements, about how people are suing because their knee replacements only lasted 2 to 3 years.
Okay, I don't know what's more fascinating, the fact that I'm holding a newspaper from, what year is this, for 2023?
It was just 2 weeks ago.
Come on, you're putting me on. Would you have, how much it cost to get this made?
Am I like Cool Hand Luke?
You have a newspaper that I'm holding, and yes, it does say something about knee replacements, but the fact that you're getting a newspaper tells me you're probably not getting a knee replacement.
No, probably not.
So this is redundant. The paper says it all, pal.
I just wanted to throw that out there because you're always...
I care about you, Mark. That's why. I want you to have a higher quality of life.
Just doing the podcast with you has raised my quality of life.
That's it? That's all you
Tenfold.
need? You're fine with the suffering knees?
Yes.
Well, once you get your knees fixed, you won't want to do a podcast with me, because you'll realize...
So you should be happy that I don't have it done.
Yeah, I go either way. I'm fine with that. Anyhow, here we are. We are going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about, of all the subjects, 70s/80s TV show soundtracks.
Theme songs, yeah.
Theme songs. And when Mark floated the idea to me hours ago, I'm like, I don't know if I know any. And then I kind of put my pea-sized brain to it, and I found a bunch. So, yeah.
It's an easy subject to
It seems like it would be relatable as long as you're old or have Nickelodeon or some channel where you can watch reruns. If you're a young person, you're going to be like, nope.
Or TV Land or something like that. Those old stations. Get TV.
Right on. Should we, I would like to, because we have been a little bit negligent. Is that the word? Or we haven't prioritized as highly as we should our exclusive sponsor. That would be Newt's. We kind of tend to throw it in a little later in the episode. But let's tell you right now, the word is out on Newt's. Everybody knows about it. It's a little tougher parking lot now. We actually parked in the grocery store behind.
But don't say that, because they'll take it away, like you mentioned earlier.
Oh, the hell. That would be detrimental to their business if they didn't let people park there, because there's not that many people parking at that
time of night. Yeah, correct.
Period. So Anyway, Newt's. I tried a new burger tonight. I tried the Mac Daddy burger, which is kind of like a play on a Big Mac, and it's quite good. It's really good, actually. Even though I didn't center it properly, so I cut it, and then I wound up with I had a little bit of a bun balance issue. Happens to the best of us, man. Let he who has not unbalanced their bun cast the first French fry. That's all I can tell you. And what'd you have?
Again, we went, or not even again, we went with our wives.
Oh yeah, I
tonight,
forgot about
so
them. Our the pride and joys of our lives.
I will edit that out.
Which part that I forgot?
Yeah.
No, keep it in. I'm forgetful. I thought more about my burger bun management than I did
That
my
we were
wife.
sitting for a couple hours with our wives. Yeah.
I love spending time with our wives. I like spending time with mine and with yours and any combination of those.
It was a very fun evening.
Except we got put at a table.
Oh, very small.
Like commoners. Yeah, and it felt like, geez, is this like, are we in trouble? What happened? Why are we sitting at this tiny little table? But yeah, so if you're a party of four going to Newt's in Apple Valley, home of ice cold beer, great burgers and sandwiches, pull tabs, great music, great service, ask for a booth.
Yes.
Unless you're little or normal sized. You don't got to be little. Just don't be huge like me, and you'll be fine.
And I had the Todd's burger that had an egg on it. It comes with bacon, but I did not get that. But
so you can eat an egg, but you can't eat a chicken.
True.
Interesting. Well, you're
I can eat. We covered this tonight. I can eat white meat, phrasing, but I just cut it all out when I got rid of red meat.
Okay. Here's the thing. You don't complain about it, so I don't give a shit. If you're like a person who quits smoking, they're like, oh, it smells so good. God, I miss it. I'd be like, well, just eat a fucking chicken sandwich then, man.
30 years ago, I might be complaining about it, but there's so many options now that it's no big deal.
You're talking about meat still, right? I feel like we could have cross-pollinated that one a little bit. I feel like I have a burp coming on. Mark told me I can't eat at the table anymore.
Oh, no, he was eating wrapped candy, and it was like fingers on the chalkboard trying to get rid of that the other time.
I sort of feel like messing with him, but, I'll find something else to irritate him.
I just gave him a hand signal for the time because he forgot to start his clock.
That was, as I said, I'll find something else to irritate him. I realized I hadn't started my clock, so... Well, like I said, I'm consistent. I'm able to piss Mark off under almost every circumstance.
Yeah, you never make me angry.
Would you like to... I have a couple of errors and omission corrections, thoughts from previous episodes.
I do also.
We also have the radio game. What do you want to do first?
Let's mix it up. Do errors and omissions this time.
Okay, go fire away. What do you got?
A hexagon for your picnic table. 6-sided picnic table.
From what episode was that?
The one that we did last week. You shot the rabbit under the...
hexagonal picnic table?
Yeah.
I talked about that on...
You did.
Jail. Statute of limitations there, Bugs. Bunny. Get it?
Do you want to do one, or do you want me to go through all mine?
I feel like I want to hear yours.
Okay. A hand equals 4 inches for a horse, measuring a horse.
Oh, so you don't include the thumb. It's just the 4 fingers.
Correct. And that was, Henry VIII was the one who narrowed it down to that.
You mean Henry the 2 hands?
If you're not counting the thumbs. I did. It took me a while to figure that one out.
Did you see how I came up with in there? Like Henry the 2 hands. Okay.
Hutchins stole Geldof's wife, not the other way around.
Oh, well, I was going to say, that seemed unlikely. You called him Hutchins' son, by the way, too. I was going to let that one slide, but...
No, you corrected me on air.
I don't recall that, but...
I do, because it was...
So, like you're correcting me on air. I don't do that because it's not cool to correct a guy.
Well, you did do it.
Did not.
And Marty O'Neill was the one before Mean Gene Okerlund.
Marty O'Neill with the dark glasses.
Correct.
Oh, he was even more deadpan than he was really.
He got ill, and that's how Mean Gene kind of subbed for him for a while.
God, Mean Gene was so good. He's still alive, isn't he? Do we know this, or did he
I don't know.
Either way, he's a legend among men. Okay, I said on a previous episode. I'm sorry, I have a lot of phlegm going here tonight. That's how you pronounce it, right? Phlegm.
I think so.
I think it's actually phlegm, but when you actually have phlegm, the G kind of jumps up. Well, either way, I don't like it. And I don't like clearing my throat, but I don't like making it sound like I have like a tennis ball in my throat. So we're just going to have to
power through.
Power on through. I made a comment about how clean your car was.
And you said, yeah.
Because your car is so much cleaner than mine at all times. And what did I say about your car is so clean it makes me think that you
killed a person.
Killed a guy.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I meant.
I'm not being sexist, so I said killed a person.
Oh. Okay. Well, is that what your lawyer told you to say?
Exactly.
Anyway, so I watch a lot of crime, like Forensic Files and such. And it's like when a guy every time I go to like the Hy-Vee car wash and I see the guys like vacuuming their shit out, when you come out of the car wash, there's these guys at the vacuum station. And I always just feel like, what did you do? What the fuck are you covering up? So when I see a really clean car, and this is how I've never been convicted of a murder, is I just keep a fairly, I wouldn't call it untidy, but it's not spotless.
Yeah, but there's a lot of DNA that you're going to get caught with. You're toast.
You don't even know. Anyway, I mean, that's just daily.
Put a black light on that thing.
Fucking A. This fucking space station is like, what is that down there? Oh, Jim's got his sunroof open. So,
what is that from Guardian of the Galaxies? Yeah. If you took a black light to this, you'd be a Jason Polak painting. Isn't that the artist that just throws paint at the canvas?
Sure. Did you just infer that I watched Guardians of the Galaxy?
I'm sure you did. You're just not going to admit it.
Spaceships, man.
Only one or two in that.
It's enough. One's the limit. If there's an or after one, not happening. Okay, so killed a guy. That was the note. It just says killed a guy. The other next thing was Johnny Depp movie, where I don't know how it came up, but it was
right.
It came up. The movie is Secret Window.
I never saw it.
It's a good one. You should see it. Although I just gave away the ending, so don't see it. And then I also we talked about the two nickel-sized men, and I sent you that video, and you said no reaction. You don't think that's funny?
I thought it was okay, but it wasn't anything that jumped out at me.
All right. How are we even friends?
Are we?
That's gold. I think we're more associates at this juncture. So, all right. Radio game.
We got to quit this podcast. It's tearing us apart.
It is. Yeah. I'll see you next Friday. Okay. A radio game. We are 30 plus episodes in, and we got one winner. One time, Mr. Charlie. Chose Van Halen, and Van Halen was on. Journey is like the center square. You can't pick Journey because it's just way too frequent. So what we do is we each pick. We have a radio station in town that's been playing kind of the same rotation for decades. So we pick 4 bands, and then after those picks are in, I will put this little earbud in, because we can't play, apparently, other people's music without getting sued. And then we, if someone guesses what song is heard when I pick up the earbud, then they win nothing. So it's the same whether we win or lose. But in this many weeks, we still... But we do mix it up. We don't pick, Zeppelin and the Stones every stinking week. But it's amazing how few that comes up.
I was thinking about this. If we were doing it back when we were growing up, we would hit more often. But the library has gotten so large, Even though they repeat a lot of them, it's
There's not a lot of new shit to that library, pal.
well, you got Metallica. They would never played before.
I never heard Metallica on KQ.
Oh yeah, they play Enter Sandman.
Do they really?
They do.
Huh. So is that one of your picks?
No,
I know one of your picks is uniquely Minnesotan, or isn't it?
I did not pick that.
Well, we'll make that our ceremonial uni pick.
Well, you use it.
Gordon Lightfoot. We're just going to throw it out there. Today is it's November 10th, which is the anniversary of when the Edmund Fitzgerald went down, and Gordon Lightfoot penned a remarkably great and like super depressing song about that event, and
Right.
it's a work of art. It kind of stands on its own as a work of art, and so yeah, so
It is a
hopefully that'll
beautiful
be on.
song, but it's so depressing that it's hard to actually for me to like it. Do you know what I mean?
But that's what makes it so.
Right. It can be a work of art, but it doesn't mean that.
Yeah, but you don't stop. You never turned away when you were flipping through the channels and that's on.
I will flip.
You want to
that
know
after.
which where are they at, or have they? Has the cook said, "Fellas, it's been good to know you"? I mean, that's some depressing shit. And I don't know if you've ever been on I've been on Lake Michigan with mild swells, and these were like 25-foot swells. That's like taller than my house.
No, I haven't
And
been.
that would scare the living shit out of you.
I went. I did the ferry across Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, but it was still rough.
What
I
time
think
of
it was
year?
international waters too, because at one point I couldn't see any land.
Is that what that means?
That's from the party boat when the Vikings got in trouble with the strippers.
No
and
way.
everything.
They claimed international immunity?
A couple of guys got interviewed and they thought, "Oh, we thought we were on international waters."
Get the hell out of here, really?
No, I'm serious.
That is legendary. Oh, Minnesota sports figures. You're the best. Thanks for being you. All right, why don't you tell me your two, start with your two whichevers.
Let's see. I'll go with my legacy. I'll go with Doobie Brothers,
Okay.
and then Bob Seger. Bob Seger is just fantastic.
That's a great one. That's like a really great one. I'm doing a repeat. I'll go with John Cougar Mellencamp, John Mellencamp, and I think I was just down to John. But anyway, and then Scorpions, which is a repeat.
Okay.
But I'm okay with that.
You should take Gordon Lightfoot as one of yours.
We're both taking Gordon Lightfoot. That would be a
Okay.
tie. That would be such a legendary feat. It's probably playing right now as we're talking about, fighting over it. Who do you got? I'll do one of mine. I'm going to go Steve Forbert again. Romeo's tune.
I was going to do Sniffing the Tears,
Ooh, driver's seat.
but I think you did that already one time.
Well, why don't you do the other one, Question Mark and the Mysterians? I always associate those two bands.
Oh, I don't even know.
99 Tears.
Oh, yeah. I'll actually just go with Eddie Grant then.
Electric Avenue?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be on KQ.
Could be. They have played that on
All right. So how many have you done? Just the Eddie Grant?
Eddie Grant.
I'm going to do Eddie Money.
Ooh. See, I try to
Yeah.
have a theme. to
Themed
it.
out. Did I take yours?
My second one is in honor of Veterans Day tomorrow. Well, it won't be when you hear this, but it's Veterans Day tomorrow for us recording. Lieutenant Dan Band. Gary Sinise.
Yeah. What do they play?
It's just a cover band, but
So do you want to pick another one that actually might be on?
no, I just want to do
You're
that.
Gonna, you're going to burn
to
one for your
honor
country.
all the veterans out
And
there.
you're a veteran. Thank you for your service, Mark.
Oh well, thank you.
We talked about that, right? You
Yeah,
have to edit that out.
No.
You were almost in the military. You were
I
in the
was
Air Force.
almost in the military. I
Air
was in the Air Force.
You know what? I'd like you to talk about because it is Veterans Day, the unique. You talk to any other branch, the Army, Navy, or Marines, and they are not self-deprecating. Or I would say the Marines are the least self-deprecating.
Yes.
I think would it go then Army, Navy, and then Air Force? Is that in order of when they came into being?
Probably has a lot to do with it.
Okay.
Because it was actually the Army Air Corps before it became the Air Force. So they were actually part of the Army during World War II.
You guys are, I mean, at least you're not the Coast Guard.
The Coast Guard was around well before.
Oh, shit. I was just picking a bad joke, man. I didn't serve, so I have no right talking about this. But I am always, there's not even a right word. I'm somewhat at awe of anyone that signed up to potentially get fucking shot at. That to me, I don't care if you worked behind a desk or whatever, you signed up for that possibility. So I think that's fantastic. But I also then, most of the Air Force people that I know, they're pretty close to the vest, but then they'll talk about times that they'll just rip on themselves for being in the Air Force. It's like, well, I was kind of in the military, or, they'll say something like, what the heck? And then they'll go, I was in the Air Force, and they don't take themselves as seriously as a Marine would. So tell me about that. Expand on that a little bit.
I really don't know how to explain it. It's just, actually, when people say thank you for your service, I'm thinking, yeah, but I had this is going to sound like a warmonger, but I had a really good time in the Air Force, and I enjoyed my whole time in. You're thanking me for having a good time, even though I fought in a couple of skirmishes. But
I would say that when I say thank you, it wasn't implying that you were suffering during it. I'm saying thanks for putting your ass on the line.
Oh, well, appreciate it.
If I said that to you, I would mean that, but I'm just speaking in general.
Right, I understand.
Actually, I did say thank you for your service. You're a cool guy. Except the only time I didn't like is when you came over in your uniform and yelled at me for something my kid almost
That wasn't
did.
that Air Force uniform. That was...
Yeah, true. Yeah, because it was the Air Force. You would have choked me out and then said, hey, that happened, right? No. So, anyhow. Yeah. So, veterans, if there's any veterans listening, Jim of the Ascertainers will buy you a beer next time we meet, or first time we meet, because, I couldn't have got in had I, by the way, didn't explore it. But I have an eye condition that is only treatable with hard contact lenses, and I don't think that's going to work out well in a military setting. So I would have been turned away.
Yeah, you would have been, what is that called? Section...
Medically unfit or whatever.
Yeah.
Section 8.
Section 8 was that?
Section 8 is someone who has a mental incapacity.
Yeah, it was something like that for the Vietnam War that they always said in the movies. Can't remember what it was. But if you're any of the other services or Air Force and you listen to this, send us an email.
Yes.
At theascertainers@gmail.com.
Did you see the write-up this week?
I did not.
Oh.
I didn't read it because I was...
I've heard.
Well...
A little hurt. The hashtags. I put, instead of send email inquiries to the Ascertain, I put booking information. I thought it made it sound more like, exclusive or something like where...
Well, I screwed up, and somehow I got double of the recording at the end. So I spent the whole time trying to fix that and put it on there.
If they listen that far, it's not going to kill them to hear a little extra. A lot of times people want to hear that encore. That's what I heard.
But I didn't want people to think they were having episode when they heard the exact same thing they heard 10 seconds ago.
I like it. To
15
me,
seconds
it
ago.
woke me right up. I'm like, I think I'm clairvoyant. I went and made a bunch of bets, and I realized, fuck, it's just that Mark fucked up. Anyway, ding ding swear jar. Elton John was on the radio. We lost the radio game.
Oh, I was
again.
going to pick him 3 weeks ago. Do I get a half point?
Fucking half point. You get a candy bar. Here, let's unwrap that right in the air.
Don't you do that. Oh, right. I do have to bring up one more thing from... it has to do with the radio game.
Yes, tell me about it.
When I did my picks last week, or last time, you knew exactly that it was Woodstock. And that was very impressive. I should have been more impressed with that on air. That was very good. Again? 10 years after.
That right there, that gave it away. That's the only footage of Alvin Lee and 10 years after I've ever seen is from Woodstock.
Oh, okay.
Who was the other one? Santana or
No, God, I can't remember now.
Jimmy?
No, I Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. 10
What?
years after. Johnny Winters.
Johnny Winter.
Johnny Winter Band.
Could have gone with Canned Heat.
Canned Heat. But
that gets played on KQ a lot.
I was doing the day 4.
Go up the country, baby, I wanna go. And the guy was like massive, wasn't he? Did he die of like a heart attack like days after?
What did he?
Well, he was a big fella. That's what
He
I
was
heard.
like the harmonica player for
Blues Traveler.
yeah.
Who got his shit together?
He
Do
did
you know his
drop a
name?
lot. I don't.
John Popper.
Oh.
Why do I know this shit?
And he used to wear the
He had
bandera
the
with
vest?
all the.
The vest with all the little holsters, harmonica holsters. Let's be real. How many of those fucking harmonicas are different?
There is a big difference
There is.
I'm trying to learn how to do it, and you got all the different harmonicas.
Did your therapist tell you, Diane would like you to learn how to play the harmonica? Not sure why. But
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not even going to go into that one.
okay.
That's like
Phrasing.
that's like the meatloaf conversation. Just steer clear.
It's going to happen again. I think we should look for one of those companies to sponsor us. You talk about it so much. So we talked about Newt's already, right?
You did.
I prioritize that.
I think we talked about what we ate, and if there's anything else that you want,
you should go to Newt's. Please go to Newt's and tell them, if you could, tell them the ascertainer sent you. Only a couple people will know what the hell that means, but you did your thing. Look in your mail if you're local. Look in your mail. They have buy one get one free entrees.
Oh, and you were going to give it away, did you?
Yes, I will. I have 2 that were mailed to my house. The ascertainers are already part of a promotion in our sponsorship, so I can't, in good conscience. What I decided was that I have 2 buy one get one coupons, and I'm going to, and a kids eat free one. So I will be walking my neighborhood, like a crazy person, and I will cut them out, and I will say, "Hey, have you been to Newt's?" If they say no, I'll say, "Tell them the ascertainer sent you."
Do you have a bathrobe and flip flops?
I don't have a bathroom. Do you?
No, I don't.
The
But
only
I
reason
think
you need
that
a
would be
bathrobe is
perfect.
when you go to the hospital. So I used to have one because I had to go in for something. The fuck was it?
You bought one just to go into the hospital?
No, I'm thinking about the dentist. Anyway, no, but like when the kids were being born, it's like, yeah, you're going to go to the Chris had a cesarean deal. Sorry, it's a little personal, but anyway. So it was like, well, we know what's going to happen here. You're going to wind up spending a night in the hospital. So they're like, bring a robe, and we're like, where do you buy a robe? So she just walks around the house,
For you or for her?
I feel like we're going to be editing something.
I have no idea what's going on.
If you're going to the hospital, you got to have a fucking robe to walk, so you don't just whatever. Or do they give you a gown? I thought they give you a gown, sir. What am I thinking about?
But you were not having the child, so why would you need a bathrobe?
That was for after the child's born, when I'm not doing anything. No,
I
I'm
slept
kidding.
over.
I don't.
I didn't bring a bathrobe for myself.
You slept over?
I just.
The fuck for? The day that my youngest was born, I golfed. There was an 8:30 scheduled cesarean. Kid comes out, looking good. She named him. Her hair looked perfect. And I said, I got a tea time. And I golfed at like 1 o'clock that day.
How'd you shoot?
I wish I could tell you, but I gave cigars to the fellas. That was back in the day when you would do the It's a Boy cigars. And yeah. So I didn't stay over. Although, for the first one, there was like 2 days leading up to the emergency cesarean. So scheduled cesarean versus emergency one. So I spent nights at the hospital then, and that was not cool.
Did you have a bathrobe?
No, if I can just...
Well, I still don't understand why you bought a bathrobe for yourself.
Well, I don't have one anymore. I feel like there was some kind of procedure I had to go in for where a bathrobe was required.
Oh, anywho.
This is good radio, I'll tell you that right now. If you have a bathrobe, email us at theascertainers@gmail.com and tell us when you wear it. Or when you don't wear it, whichever is less frequently.
Okay, the topic that I'm doing a terrible segue, but
everybody wants it. I'll tell you that right fucking now. Ding.
As we brought up earlier, we're TV show themes, songs. So let's jump right into it.
I'm gonna just preface this by saying I saw one of these songs performed live.
Friends?
Oh, too soon, pal. And that'll be my final pick, my final declaration. Okay. So mine are in no order, except for the one that I saw performed live.
And that'll be last.
Can you think of what it might be? Why don't you give that a thought while I give you my first one? I'm going to go with the Beverly Hillbillies. Because that's a song everybody knows. That gets referenced.
Hum a little bit.
Let me tell you a little story about a man named Jed, a poor mountaineer, barely kept his family fed until one day he was shooting some food, and up from the ground came a bubbling crude oil, that is, Texas tea. There's one other thing goes in there. And then they go out there to the Jed, you got to move away from here.
Yeah. So we packed up the car.
And we moved to Beverly. Down. So yeah, there's a word that rhymes with Beverly. That's a well-known, still to this day, referenced song.
You know, if they needed something to rhyme with it, they should have just called Steve Miller.
Steve Miller, yeah. And then one day he was shooting some crude food, dude, kind of rude. What a mood. I'm going to keep doing it. Okay, all right, what do you got?
My first one will be WKRP in Cincinnati.
It's a fine song.
Although the exit song is even better.
The end of the episode?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Oh, it's a tune where this guy's just playing and it's just saying nonsensical things.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to listen to that as I recommend.
That is awesome.
I just know, but that's a song that literally is... I think that's the cool. That's kind of what we kind of try to be a nostalgia podcast, if that makes any sense. And that song, yeah. And my mom grew up in Cincinnati, so I have a little bit of a soft spot for that. But just the whole living in the air in Cincinnati WKRP.
And then you could go into other things about the show.
Got kind of tired of packing and unpacking. Town to town, up and down the dial.
Oh, I thought you would do it in tune.
Baby, no. We all know that. Baby, you and I were never meant to be, but maybe think of me once in a while. I'm a W. That's a ballin' lyric. Try to stump me on lyrics here. You want to talk about Bailey or Jennifer?
Yes.
Bailey.
No, I was thinking Venus Flytrap and Johnny.
Oh, I thought you. Which of the two girls would you have Congress with?
And what did you say?
Happily married. Huh?
You answered it. What did you say?
Bailey. Less flashy.
I guess to go with.
You go with Lonnie Anderson?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Mrs. Reynolds.
Good for you. Yeah, good luck with that. Anyway, you got the characters.
What was Venus Flytrap? Johnny.
Well, Johnny. What the fuck? I was just looking at John Lessman today earlier.
Yeah, I can't remember what his.
It was Johnny Lessman, wasn't it? No.
No, it was
Dr. Johnny Fever.
Dr. Johnny Fever.
Dr. Johnny Fever. Program manager Travis.
Les Nessman.
Les Nessman on news. Herb Tarlick was the sales guy. Venus Flytrap was one of the other DJs.
And the owner.
Oh, Gordon Jump.
Yeah,
I don't know
that
what his
was
character's
his real
name was, though. What was his character?
I can't remember. It was just a great show.
Why the do I know Gordon Jump?
I think that's all he did. Maybe he was a character actor in other things.
All right, well, I'm going to go... Good one, Mark. I'm going to go with... Just based on the song alone, so this one we won't have much to talk about, but The Courtship of Eddie's Father.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
People, let me tell
Tell
you about my best friend. Now that's a good song.
It is a
So,
very
but
good
that's
song.
but the show I can't tell you anything else about it.
That's the one I saw live. Also,
Sounds horrible. Sounds like borderline inappropriate. But yeah, okay.
this one I thought you would bring up because you partook growing up. Is that giving you any hints? The Muppet Show.
What do you mean I partook?
A lot of friends in high school used to watch that stoned, and they thought it was the funniest thing ever.
I didn't smoke pot back then or now. But there for about 1 week in college I did. But
no, your brother let the cat out of the bag.
Okay, so there's a thing on whatever Instagram or wherever where I saw it, where they take the end scene from Dirty Dancing, and they do like a Wizard of Oz thing with the Muppet Show theme, and it is phenomenal.
Is it? I'll have to see that.
Oh, you would laugh your ass off. If you like that theme song, yes,
I do. I think it's a great.
You probably just Google Dirty Dancing Muppet Show, and it'll come up, and it's just the way. Because that's such a bouncy song and stuff, and how they do Patrick Swayze in there, you know. It's that'll be the best takeaway from this whole episode. I guarantee.
It was funny that when I brought this up, Jim at dinner said, "Well, if I don't know it, you'll have to hum a few bars of the song."
Well, there's times that we've done that where it's like, "Oh, what's that go like?" And you're like, "I don't know," and I'm like, "No, you're obligated to."
I understand what you're saying.
You have to defend or represent your
But
selection.
I told him that tonight he would know everything that I bring up.
So far, so good. So far, so good. I'm going to go with, because, and this has no lyrics, but I think it's probably the most identifiable to me, because we live in a market where there's a popular radio broadcaster named Paul Allen, where this has been his theme music for 20 plus years, and that's the Sanford and Son.
Dude, yeah.
A little harmonica in there, a little John Popper. Anyway,
Didn't they add words after a couple years to that?
I do not believe that I've ever heard words to that song.
I'm not sure.
Doesn't need them.
He
it's
owns a junkyard, and he lives with his son.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, yeah. No, now it's coming to me.
The Love Boat.
What's that one? Which one was that for? All right, what do you
Wasn't
got?
there a Saturday Night Live skit about the guy singing the Love Boat song?
Oh, that'd probably be Bill Murray when he was the lounge singer.
Yes.
Star Wars. Jerry Aldini was his name.
Wow.
I think it was his name. Yeah. He goes, hey, looks like you're here with your wife. Yeah, no.
How do you remember all these names?
I just made that one up, but we'll look it up and see. We'll verify that. That's would be good for errors and omissions.
This one I'll go since I play the bass. Well, not well, but
Is it Barney Miller?
it is.
Ah,
Did you have that one?
I did, but I didn't dot it because I have like 12, but I only put dots on them. But that is a phenomenal. And then I watched the intro to that today, and Ron Glass, Abe Vigoda, Ron Gale was Wojciechowicz, Hal Linden, of course.
Wojciechowicz was Max something. Maybe it was
Max Gale.
Max Gale.
His last name was Gale, Gail. But that was a good show.
Oh,
And then how about there was a I don't recall seeing him on the credits, but they had like a man of Asian descent that he had a good character.
oh yeah. He passed away, but he was great. He was always gambling, and he was so deadpan and
Yes,
just like
that was refreshing about
Oh,
him.
what was his name? Well, Abe Vigoda. You brought that up.
Yep.
But
It went Hal Linden, Max Gale, Ron Glass, and then
who was the Hispanic guy that he was only on for the first season?
I don't know. You tell me. All right, I'll do one of mine. Bass play, but when you said bass, I knew that
Yeah.
it was not meant to be. I'm going to go with Green Acres. The reason that I picked Green Acres is that my brothers and I used to have a thing called the Armpit Orchestra, where we learned how to like make that sound with your armpit when you don't have a shirt on and you don't got no public hair up there. So we would do, Green Acres and we would, farm living is the life for me. Land spreading out so far and wide. Keep your Manhattan, just give me that countryside.
And then she sings.
Yes, and she doesn't like it as much.
No.
I forget her words.
Ava, was that Jaja or was that Ava?
I think that was Jaja. Jaja.
Jaja.
I don't think Ava Gabor. I think Ava Gabor was like not trying as hard as Jaja. Are those the original Kardashians, if you think about it?
Oh, they could have been.
Although those, at least Jaja was an actress. I mean, she was a contributing actor. I haven't seen the Kardashians contribute in a produced role ever. Not against them. Good for them. America.
So Ava, she wasn't in Hollywood. She didn't act at all. I don't know. Why do I know who she is then?
Because I think she would show up like on roasts and shit. Maybe when Jaja wasn't available. This will be good for after this episode's over.
Were they twins?
I know they were sisters. I don't think they were twins.
They look.
Maybe they were. We'll find out. Okay.
Oh, it was Nick Yamana.
Nick Yamana.
Jack So played Yamama.
Oh, so Jack So was the character.
Was the actor.
You're up.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just go with Laverne and Shirley. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Shamiza.
Pop and Decker Incorporated. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Don't they do Shamizo before
fuck, they do.
I don't even know the words to that. People always sing it, but I don't know the words.
I think it's because it was on Wayne's World that it made me. They did a little spoof of it during the movie, but it's Milwaukee. It's Middle America. It's also kind of cool that Laverne and Shirley and Happy Days happened in the same. I mean, those are like an offshoot because Lenny and Squiggy. Somebody was.
Cindy Williams' character dated Richie Cunningham on one episode.
Really?
That's how the crossover started.
How about them apples?
And Laverne was going out with Fonzie.
Bullshit. Really?
In that Happy Days episode.
Also, the miracle of television that anyone that knows Henry Winkler.
Yeah, he wasn't.
It's like, that's the Fonz. No shit. What an actor. That's probably his best acting job, even though he's done some tremendous shit after that.
Well, he played a tough guy in Lords of Flatbush, where that character came from.
I gotta watch that again. But I think of him on Click and Barry.
You're right.
He seems like such a cool guy. He really does.
He does.
Anyway, okay.
Oh,
so you owe me 1 or 2.
Can I mention about the Happy Days? They had Thursday, Friday.
Bill Haley and the Comets?
Right. The first season, it was Rock Around the Clock Today.
Was it always?
No. Then they came up with their own Happy
Saturday,
Day.
What a Day, Grooving All Week with You?
That was a Happy Days song that they started after season 1.
Gonna call bullshit, but I need to have that validated because I watched a shit ton of Happy Days.
Okay.
Like a lot. Just the intro. Then it was too late. So the one that I saw live was I went and saw Steve Martin when I was in, I think, the 8th grade. And the opening act for Steve Martin was John Sebastian. Welcome back.
Oh. Welcome. That's a great tune.
So there you go. Welcome back, Connor. Another great show with a huge star in it. Who knew that John Travolta was going to become...
Oh, I thought we were talking about Gabe Kaplan.
Even bigger than Gabe Kaplan. Yeah, you watch a lot of poker. Gabe Kaplan is awesome. He's Henry Winkler level good guy material. I always thought about Franco Harris when I saw Gabe Kaplan. I think those two remind me so much of each other. Is that wrong?
No, that's
the same way that Barry Sanders reminded me of Rob Schneider recently.
Oh,
not in as favorable of a way for Barry. But I don't remember the All in the Family theme. Did they have one?
No.
They had to.
Family Guy. All in the Family?
All in the Family.
Right. When
Aren't
they're
you-
sitting at the piano. Do, 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 do,
Oh
do,
my
do, do.
shit! Yes.
I thought you were messing with me.
Oh, that is
Sorry.
a Family Guy theme. My God. We have to regroup and maybe talk more about this shit. This one, we should have talked about it sooner, but we are woefully over. So I'll let Mark do his editing magic. Thanks for listening. Happy Veterans Day. A couple weeks late because of the whatever. Thank you for
Time
your
change.
service.
Yeah. Goodbye, everyone.